I love mechanics dealing with triggering spells in action RPGs, so when I saw these new enchantments, I knew I had to cook something with it on my second build. I also discovered the Orb of the Storms amulets, and I had to include it in the build. In game, they look like small blue lightning bolts proccing on top of enemies. My build is currently quite unoptimized, I'm just level 86, but I am currently achieving a decent DPS of 4 million per second and a decent tankiness as well. Before we jump into the details, I don't like doing this, but it literally gives me 5 times the amount of subscribers, so by the end of this video, if you want to see more of this, I would really like if you subscribe and join the 1%. So I needed to find a way to create a lot per second, and instead of using the usual Cyclone cast on crit or Lancing Steel cast on crit, I saw I could use a spell to trigger the spells. So in the end I chose Ball Lightning of Static because I really like this Transfigure gem, and it hits almost 7 times per second. I also needed a way to scale the damage of a very low level lightning bolt, so I thought of using Spellblade support and Battle Mage at the same time. So I basically used the regular template of Inquisitor used by Penance Brand or Hexblast Mines skills. They are quite complex and not the main point of this video, so I will not talk about it in much details, but maybe for a more defined version later. Another cool mechanic I decided to include is the reverse knockback. So by using the Thunderstrike passive from a large cluster jewel and the Empire's Grasp unique gauntlets, the balls of lightning are constantly pulling the enemies towards their own center. So this acts both as a DPS boost, because the enemies are staying in the area longer, and as a defense layer, because they can't reach you, or not as easily as usual. And as you can see, this mechanic is really handy for Blight. For content where a knockback is not working, such as Guardian bosses, Pinnacle bosses, etc., you can just swap easily to Shaper's Touch. Both of these gloves do not have any resistance, so it's quite an easy swap, just a bit annoying to have to move the gems. This kind of build traditionally uses Energy Blade, but I didn't want to for a few reasons. First of all, I find it's just quite a shame that it's the basically only way people build around Spellblade and Battle Mage, which are super cool sounding mechanics. And also, of course, it almost halves your energy shield, and we cannot use the enchant for the additional lightning bolt. And on this build, it actually does not increase the DPS by much. As you can see, if I enable Energy Blade, but I remove the additional enchant, the full DPS stays basically the same, where we lose Sculling Strike and a lot of tankiness. So just a word about Tornado of Elemental Turbulence. I tried it as a replacement for Ball Lightning of Static. The thing is, it's kinda weird with a knockback, because when a tornado hits an enemy, it's gonna pull it but towards you instead of towards the tornado. Also, since Tornado is based on physical damage and then converted to elements, it might be better to have a high physical damage weapon and scale the damage with conversion and gain physical damage as extra something. So to sum up this template on Inquisitor, we use the Ivory Tower chest, which makes us get extra energy shield for the result life that we have, and to avoid dying from chaos damage we use the Coruscating Elixir. To reach 100% uptime we use the Traitor Notable. It comes from the Brutal Restraint Timeless Jewel, so this is why I only have 3 flasks on me. By the way, with setup we get to run a lot of auras, so I chose to use Purity of Elements to get some elemental resistances of course, but mostly for the element immunity. I also use a Steel Skin as my guard skill on an automation setup, so that it removes bleeding automatically, which is quite deadly on this build. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this slightly off-meta build with quick interactions. Sometimes it's quite fun to take a shower to not stay too sweaty about the game. Let me know down in the comments if there is anything you didn't understand or you want more details. It will help me figure out what to include in the next video. Hope you enjoyed and subscribed, and see you in the next one.